One. Welcome back to Steelheads Tonight, World Junior Edition. This is our setup to the World Juniors. So it's episode number one. Um, it's the most wonderful time of the year, as they like to say in the world of hockey for juniors.
TSR
So
commercials, the most wonderful time of the year. One of our favorite, like personally our favorite tournaments in hockey throughout the year. Like whatever we think, especially over the last couple of years, it's been like Christmas. Like nah, we're waiting for the World Juniors. Christmas is good, but the World Juniors is better.
yeah, and I've thought that for the last 6 or 7 years because I really love the World Juniors. It's what really made me fall in love with hockey. So when it comes around every year, I'm always excited. So for
Yeah,
this
there's
episode.
always big moments. Like there's always been moments every year, like that you can always think about. Like oh, this year was this year was that. Like there's always just something of each World Juniors where if you've been watching like for as long as we have, it's like I remember that as one of the biggest moments in World Juniors history.
Yeah.
So we're ready to see more stuff like that this year.
Yeah, and this year's tournament's in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So Group A will be playing out of the Minnesota Wild Arena, and Group B will be playing out of Minnesota's University's rink.
Yep, the Golden Gophers, I think they're or just the Gophers. I care.
I
I know it's the
sounds
Gopher, some way of Gophers.
yeah. So Group A for this tournament has the defending champs USA, and they picked to be in a group with Sweden, Slovakia, Switzerland, and Germany. So for the defending champs, they picked the easier group as most of the time
Yeah,
the
they
winning
always the teams always pick the easier group if they win the gold medal. That's just obvious. That's just the easier way to
get back.
reclaim your
Right?
title. Yeah, reclaim the gold medal.
So yeah, for Group A, USA should most likely win Group A going into the quarters.
Even though
Um,
Sweden's looking pretty
Sweden,
good, like
Sweden
Sweden
does
would
look
be the team that gives them a run for their money. That's how I'm gonna put it. That would be the only team in that group that would give them a run for their money because they always seem every year they do well in the group stage.
yeah, group stage they always succeed, but when they get to the quarters and medal round, they um, don't do too good. So I think you're right with that with Sweden.
Yeah, that would be the only team that gives them a run for the the first place in the group A.
That
But overall, I still
Slovakia
think USA is the favorites.
are are going to be fighting for those last spots in the group. Um, but yeah, like Sweden, I think will give the States the best run for their money in Group A. Group B features the Finns, Czechia, Canada, Latvia, and Denmark. That one's hard, harder group.
Yeah, those are gonna be some good
The,
matchups.
the Czechs are good; they're always good.
Finland's
Um,
always Finland's all.
Finland always
I feel
has
like with Finland, it's either they're good or they're not good. Like
yeah, Finland has a good team most of the time. Latvia and Denmark, we don't really see too often.
oh,
More Denmark than
Latvia
Latvia.
just avoided getting relegated last year, I believe, as well. Or was
Yeah,
it Germany that avoided that?
think it was the Germans because
Yeah,
Latvia beat Canada
Latvia did
last
win a
year.
game. Yeah, they won a few.
So yeah, for Group B, I think uh it's a tough one. I think you can go three ways here.
Yeah, any of
I
those
think
teams could take
I think it
top
could
in
be
the.
Finland, Czechia, or Canada in Group B. Um, in whatever order you want to put it in, it's going to be hard because like this year, especially after going out 2 years in a row in the quarters, Canada has some chips on their shoulder here going into the
Yes,
tournament that
they do.
they want to get through. Like
Yeah, I think they're extra motivated this year, which is good. Like obviously, you've seen Gavin McKenna say it's embarrassing. Like well, not embarrassing, but Canada should never be taken on in the quarterfinals, which I 100% agree. They should at least be playing for
especially
a.
the last 2 years.
Yeah,
So like yes, goal scoring was an issue last tournament for sure. Bad
yeah.
penalties were an issue last tournament
Mhm.
for Canada. We even saw it in the pre-tournament on Saturday. Penalties, 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 penalties cost
Yeah.
everything. So they need
Yeah,
to
I
they need
hope
to
Dale Hunter works his magic and be like, okay, because he led this team in 2020 to a gold medal. I think it was.
and
I think that's the year.
yeah, and the thing about Dale Hunter is with him is if you play well and listen to him, you're playing the game. If you don't do what he says, you're scratched. So
Yeah, you just gotta listen to the guy. Like his team has won a Memorial Cup for a reason, and he's won a gold medal in the past for a reason. He's a good coach. Sure, he might come off as a little like as like a not a bad person, but like kind of like a guy who's like, okay, this is how we do things, and this is how we do it. Like this is how we do it if you want to succeed, and if you don't listen, get out of my way.
yeah, for sure. Like that is Dale Hunter in a nutshell.
But he is a good coach. Like he gets to his players, like which is what you want in a coach.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to look up a few things here. Yeah, but Canada opens their tournament Friday
Yep,
against the
on Boxing
Czechs.
Day. Yeah, I
So
think that's gonna be a fun
it's going to be
matchup
a
just
tough
because.
matchup right out of the gate for Canada. Like,
Yeah,
because the Czechs have played them very well over the last 2, 3 years.
yes,
So, especially over the last two, being
yeah.
the reason why they didn't make it past the quarters. So, yeah, I mean,
They're
Canada
gonna be
opens up.
motivated. I think they're definitely gonna be motivated in that first matchup. They want to set the tone and they want to play well. Like I think it starts with obviously your top line. Obviously, probably gonna be like I'm excited to see the top line of like possibly Martone, former Steelhead, and then possibly Michael
Yeah,
Misa and
from
Gavin
from from
McKenna.
what from what the lines were saying yesterday, Jason McKenna's been moved down to the second
Oh
line.
wow,
So they
who
put
would they move up to the
Iginla
top?
with Martone in
Ginla.
there. So we'll see what happens. They're going into the last pre-tournament game today, um, which isn't going to be
Won't be on TV
televised in
unfortunately.
Canada. So we'll see what happens. They still have one cut to make before the tournament. So
That's gonna be a
whether
hard one.
whether it's going to be the third goaltender or one of the forwards that isn't playing, we'll soon find out after tonight, most likely.
Yeah, I can't see it be a third goalie just because you never know what's gonna happen in this tournament and you might need him on standby.
Yeah, but the only time you usually carry a third goaltender from a North American team is if you're in Europe.
That is true. They're only in
Because
Minnesota, so and this guy
because
plays in the W, so
here's why though. Because the flight to Europe is longer than a flight from Canada to the US.
yeah.
So I'd say they're carrying two goalies. It's going to be Carter George and somebody else. I don't know if it's going to be Kovic or not. We'll find out because he didn't look
I will
too good
find
on
out.
Saturday. But
Yeah,
we'll
we'll find
find
out.
out soon on what's going to happen here with
But no
both.
matter who gets cut, like if it's a goalie cut, they're
Mhm.
gonna be on standby. Obviously, like they're not gonna be obviously
Yeah,
travel
for
to
sure.
Minnesota,
They'll go
but they're
back
gonna
to
be ready.
they'll go back to their team, and if they get called upon, like let's say like God forbid a goalie gets hurt, then yeah, they'll be called back. But I look at it this way: you probably want to carry an extra forward or defense because they're more likely to
Get hurt.
get hurt. Like look at what was it last year when Schaefer went down?
Yeah, where he broke his collarbone or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, like it's more likely you don't want it to happen, but it's more likely that a forward or defenseman gets hurt. Um, but prelim starts Friday. For Group A, Slovakia and Sweden start off the day at 1 o'clock Eastern time, and then Group B starts at 3:30 with the Finns against Denmark, and then the final matchup of Group A for Friday is the United States Germany, and then as I said before, Canada wraps up the day facing the Czechs at 8:30. So should be a fun first day of the tournament on Friday. We'll see what happens. I
Yeah,
think Swedes probably beat Slovakia. Um, I say
you know, I'd
probably
love
lose
to see
to.
Slovakia just
I would
just
love
win.
to see Slovakia win, but I'm going off of years prior.
Yeah,
That's that Sweden probably beats Slovakia. Finland probably beats Denmark. The game that I see that could be really close is Germany USA because Germany didn't have a bad team last year. But
Yeah, they
again,
just didn't get off to the right. They just couldn't like. I don't know what the issue really the issue is. It just didn't seem like they. It's like they didn't play enough games together, like which is hard because it's the World Juniors, obviously.
exactly, like every team goes through it in the World Juniors because you're together for a month.
Yeah,
It's not like it's your junior team when you're together all year round. You're there for a month. You're with
yeah.
them for a month,
It's
so
where
it's hard to
they
get that chemistry. So, but that's also what makes the tournament more fun to watch because of that. Like you'll see a little bit of sloppy hockey, which isn't bad,
yeah
but it's not great. So it's a
yeah.
little bit more fun.
You're either happen your first game, if anything, like the sloppiness. Then it's like
Well,
okay, we
that's
can
why
turn
you
on
have
this.
that's why you have the three pre-tournament games.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can try and get the sloppiness out in those three games, but 9 times out of 10, it usually transitions into the tournament. Um, but yeah, like we discussed our groups, and we've given our predictions for each group. Um, Jason, in your opinion, what does Canada have to do to succeed in this tournament?
My honest opinion, like the number one thing to me, like sure people will say goal scoring, but I'm gonna say penalties. Like they can't be taking stupid penalties. Like and obviously these guys are just kids. Like you live and learn, and as they say. But like I feel like we can't have these tough lessons anymore. Like obviously with Andrew Gibson last year and then the year before, Oliver Bonk accidentally knocking the puck in the net like on a redirection. Like obviously we can't have these moments no more. Like you just gotta play your game and like not try to overthink it. Like which is obviously hard because you're just kids. But like we need you represent Canada. It's awesome. Like we want you guys to succeed, but like obviously we're proud of you no matter what. Like you guys went out there, gave it your all. Even though last year it didn't really look like that, but we want to see these guys succeed, and I think it starts with not taking stupid penalties.
Oh, and let's go back to the Oliver Bonk deflecting into his own net there. Like, let's go back to Saturday when Sweden was getting a penalty and McKenna came on as left attacker and he couldn't control the puck and scored in his own net. Things
Yeah, that
like that
was
can't happen
at
in a
least it
tournament.
happened in a pre-tournament game. That's all I care about. Like let's get the sloppiness out now.
Yeah, but things like that cannot happen in the tournament
No,
now
they
because
can't.
that's going to cost you games. That's going to cost you getting into the semis and into the finals. So yeah, like you said, sloppiness has to be controlled. Penalties can't be taking stupid penalties. For me, goal scoring. It all comes down to goal scoring because your goalie Carter George is one of the best goaltenders in the OHL.
Yeah, and it's actually proof this year. Like last year, he had a terrible defense in front of him. This year, he has a better defense, and his numbers are even better. Like his
So
team
yeah,
is trying to
you have
get first in the division.
you have a great goaltender. I'm not worried about goaltending.
No,
My
Carter George,
concern is,
uh,
like you said, penalties, and for me, big time is goal scoring because they couldn't seem to score goals last tournament.
yeah, like when your guys when the guy who has the most points has only got three in a tournament, that's not gonna do it.
No. Um, let's talk about players we're excited to see now for the World Juniors. Like for me, I'm gonna go with McKenna for Canada, Martone for Canada. Obviously, like I'm just talking Team Canada here. Martone, McKenna, and Iginla because I don't get to see McKenna or
I
Iginla
would,
too often.
yeah,
So I'm gonna go with McKenna, Martone, and Iginla for me.
yeah. For me, it's definitely the former Steelheads like Martone, Ivan Kovic if he makes it. I'm also excited to see all the guys that came down from like NCAA as well because we don't see those guys often either.
And I'm gonna go off the board here. I'm gonna go for a player I'm excited to see on Czechia. I want to see Thibigor do good
Yes,
for
absolutely. Fibberger,
but
our top
obviously
defender on the Steelheads.
I want Canada to win gold, but I want Thibigor to succeed as well.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and obviously, like he's a Steelhead. We want him to do well no matter what.
And we talked to him 2 weeks ago at our holiday party with the Steelheads, and he was telling me how excited he was to be representing Czechia again at the World Juniors. He always loves to be able to represent his country. So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens there. Like I want him to succeed, but obviously I want Canada to win. But um, let's talk about our top three favorite World Junior memories, Jason. I'll go first here. Carey Price in the shootout against, I believe it was the States, just coming out making save after save after save, and I believe it was Jonathan Taves who kept going out and scoring, if my memory is correct. Um,
I don't really remember that one. I can't remember what year that was, but I do remember seeing clips of it. I'm like, this is insane. Like, you don't really see stuff like that anywhere else.
yeah.
Because you can't really send a
And
guy out more than once in a shootout in real, like in the NHL and stuff.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, because that's not a thing in the NHL. In in the yeah, it was Jonathan Taves and it was Patrick Kane going head to head against Carey Price in the shootout for Canada US. So that's like my top three. That's my third memory. My second memory for World Juniors is how great John Tavares played for Team Canada in the time he was with them. Um, he set a record for scoring in the tournament when he was there for Canada. So yeah, watching him succeed in the World Juniors was fun. Um, and my top moment, and this will lead up to our last segment of this podcast. My favorite moment was when Canada was facing Russia in the 2009 World Juniors in Ottawa with less than 10 seconds left in the third period. Tavares shot the puck on his backhand. It was blocked by the Russian defender. Eberle pulls it out and scores. Tie it.
Yeah, that was like my first memories of the World Juniors and how I fell in love with hockey and John Tavares as well. Like, and Jordan Eberle even. Like, I'm like those guys were like the some of the keys. Like, obviously Patrice Bergeron was one of my first like favorite players, but those guys seeing what they did for Canada, you got they're I always respected that. Like, that was just amazing. Like, that just proved to never give up in the game of hockey because you never know what can happen. Like, even though the guy blocked it, Eberle saw a chance, he took it, and then he scored.
And Gordon Miller summed it up really well when he called it. When Eberle scored, he said, "Can you believe it?"
Yeah.
Like it was remarkable. Like every year they have that game on before the World Junior starts on TSN just to hype everybody up, and I always seem to watch it because it's my favorite World Junior memory. And that brings us right into our alumni spotlight for this episode. We just talked about Mr. Scoring within the last 5 seconds, and our alumni this episode is Jordan Eberle Jason.
Yeah, obviously, like he was probably like, when you think of great Canadians to play in the World Juniors, he's one of the first answers. I believe him and John Tavares, like that. Those guys were a dynamic duo the times they played in the World Juniors, and it was awesome to see.
Yeah, like he came up and always performed for Team Canada in the World Juniors. So yeah, it was always fun to see him play, and he played in the 08, 09, and then the 9-10 World Juniors.
Yeah, like those
So
are like some of my first like real hockey memories of watching hockey for those
yeah,
Jordan Eberle and John Tavares World Junior runs.
in the 08, 09, he had 6 goals, 7 assists for 13 points, and then for 2009-10, he had 8 goals, 5 assists for 13 points. So he remained consistent both with both tournaments. He had 13 points. So yeah, like he was Mr. Consistent when it came to World Juniors.
Mhm.
So yeah, like I think we made a great choice here by having him number one on our alumni list. Obviously, it's always fun to talk about World Juniors and talk about the players who have helped
Yeah,
Canada win
it is.
in the past. Um, like like my main focus next one will probably be John Tavares because of his
Yes.
amazing tournaments
Gee.
with Canada. So stay tuned
Yeah.
for that when that comes out.
Yeah, I
But
got
for
a general
now,
idea of when we want to record that. I got a general idea, but
okay,
we'll think about it. It'll definitely be before next Monday.
okay, so we'll be recapping the first two games for Canada then.
Yeah, I just said before next Monday just because
Yeah.
I
So
think the
yeah,
first like yeah, like I think that's
All right, so we'll recap. We'll be back for another episode next Monday, where we'll recap our first two games for Team Canada and look around the other games from the World Juniors and set up the games for next week.
Yeah, we'll set up the remaining games of group play. Obviously, like if each team gets 4 games, we'll set up the next few. And if anything
Exactly.
big happens, who knows? Maybe a surprise podcast episode.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. If anything big happens, you might get a few more days of us, unfortunately for everybody. But hey, we'll see what happens. Enjoy the
Hey,
tournament.
I hope our listeners love us, but they could watch us be like, who are these idiots?
Exactly. But I digress. Enjoy the tournament. It's always a fun one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, most wonderful time of the year, as they like to say.
exactly. So yeah, stay tuned for our next episode coming out Monday, where we recap the first couple of games for Canada and all the other teams, and we set up the last few games of group play and look ahead to the medal rounds going forward. Have a good week, everybody.
Have a good week.